Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 737 of the ChairShot Podcast. It's plain to see that we're back again, but we are... Unfortunately, Barry has had to jet off this week.
So it's flying high.
He's flying solo. Paul and I are at the controls once again.
Yeah. This isn't a pilot, don't worry. This is episode 737. We've been doing this a long time.
We are back. We're going to be talking a lot of news. We've got a big list of news this week. We'll have a few features, a bit of a quiz or an email, and a bit fancy update. Not too much in the way of reviews because you may have noticed, spoilers, AEW TV was shite this week. They basically took a week off, so we won't spend too long on that, but we'll quickly go through it. Then a bit of movie, a couple of movies, the usual stuff. So let's jump straight into it, Paul. How's your week been? What have you been up to?
It's been a good week. Good week. What have I been up to? I met the landlady from upstairs for the first time.
Oh,
so have we talked about this before? So I kind of got lucky when I bought this little sumbitch where I'm living. That the neighbors are all very nice. But upstairs there's a guy who does be playing the clarinet at like random intervals, which is the only complaint I could make. Otherwise, I don't get any noise from them. I'm sure they're lovely people. Although, frankly, the one time I met the lady from upstairs, she was weirdly standoffish. And I went, how are you? Nice to meet you. And she just like blanked me. So,
yeah, whatever.
Bitch, so is it? But they're very quiet upstairs.
That's good.
Because it's a block of four of us. So I'm bottom left, and then you have a bottom right for left, upper right.
Gotcha.
We get on very well with bottom right and upper right.
Mm-hmm.
Meet them all the time, chat to them all the time. Upper left, not so much. You never see them. But at random intervals, you wake up on a Saturday at 11 o'clock to... And it's a problem because directly above my head is where he plays, where the guy plays. And it'll be like, if you play an instrument, whatever, we're all human. I'm not going to, this guy plays in this fucking bastard, he should be killed. But if you're living in an apartment, right, and you play an instrument that can be heard from the other apartments, you might limit your playing to a specific hour of the day. This is what I said to the landlady when I met her earlier. Was if it was like from 7 to 8, then I know that's when that's going to be. I can go out for a walk, go out do the shopping, come back, know that I'm in the clear for the evening. Problem is he'll play for like half an hour, then nothing for half an hour, then play for another half hour, then nothing for an hour, then play for an hour, then nothing for an hour. It's just during the day. Crazy. So I met her. She was weirdly defensive about it, as if like, first of all, we've never put in a formal complaint about it. I believe the other occupants of the block have. That's maybe where the landlady was over to kind of check on that. Kind of just mentioned, same as I'm saying to you, we kind of said to her, and so let's see what comes of that. Like I say, the one thing to keep in mind is that if those people were to leave, who knows what you get in replacement. It could be worse. The fact they have a little clarinet, which isn't the worst instrument to be played anyway, every now and then, look, I can live with it. But again, if it were just a little bit more controlled, that would be nice. What else happened? Oh, I got a good deal on a little bit of AEW merchandise. So this comes back to some topic we were talking about, I think 2 weeks ago, which is the little figurines they're giving away in McDonald's, the little Friends figurines. I got a Joey. I got a Monica.
I got a Chandler.
Yeah. So I had through various trips to McDonald's over the weeks, I had accrued 4 friends.
So 4
2
duplicates or 4 in total? Is this
duplicates? Not only me, by the way. I'm not the only one. Goes to McDonald's every second day to get with my friends.
So you got 10. So you're talking 10 in total here, or 8? It's at least 8. Because if it's got 4 duplicates, there must be 4 singles. So he's been...
There are 6 in the set, and I have 4 duplicates, so...
Well, work that out, listener.
But that doesn't mean I've been to McDonald's 10 times.
Oh, no. Because a couple of times I forgot to get one, so...
A couple of times there was a child with one, and I said, give me that thing. That's what I'll do. Anyway, 4 duplicates. Ended up selling them, all of them, sold successfully now.
Very nice.
Through eBay or through our local website, adverts.ie. I don't know if you guys have an equivalent.
IE. Wow.
An equivalent website, but it's your Facebook marketplace. It's your Vinted type deal, but it's obviously an Irish-only website.
Wow, I'm firing it up. This looks interesting. Yeah. Vintage porcelain tea set, €100. So that's good. 3 and 2 seater sofa set in Leak Slip. Isn't that where you used to live?
It is where I used to live. That's mad that came up on that.
€150. So,
hello. I got mine for way cheaper than that. But okay.
We've got, what the hell is it? A book, Revolutionary Imperialist William Smith O'Brien.
Sounds great.
That's a biography there, so that's good. Farming, we've got a farming category here if you want a bit of farming stuff. Yeah, looks good. Island shirt. I mean, it's very much what I expected. It's sort of farming, revolutionary books, and island home shirts.
Yeah.
So someone's selling a PVC window for €120.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you haven't checked out adverts.ie, some good bargains.
Good bargains if you are located in Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they'll ship a couch over to you in London, Joe. But
if you're in Louth and you need a PVC window.
Louth.
Is it Louth or Louth?
It's loud. Louth. It is loud. Louth. I've never heard it said that way. Because in Louth, that's how you say it. They have very specific kind of accents. I'll tell you a story about Louth. Their 2 favourite catchphrases are spot on and no bother. So if you hear an Irish person, you do a little favour for them and you get spot on, no bother. They're often loud. Anyway, to get to the point of the story, I'm going to share with Joe what the item that I acquired is. I believe this particular item, when originally purchased, probably was in the £100 range, maybe €110, maybe ish. You'll know because you'll have seen these on your travels.
Right.
This was up on adverts.ie for €45, and I offered 30, and the guy said can't do 30. These are selling for like 100 on eBay.
Right.
I said no problem. A couple of days later, comes back to me. Swat on, no bother. Comes back to me. Well, I did live next to Louth for a little while. He comes back a few days and says 42. I said, I don't think I even answered the 42. Eventually he says, I can do your 30 plus whatever it costs to ship it out. I say, 30 sounds good. So I'm going to send to Joe it's going to go on my wall, a little bit of AEW memorabilia. And I got it for €30, which I think is a little bit of a steal. I'm going to send it to you now, Joe, if I can find you on Discord. You don't seem to exist on Discord. Where are you? There you are. And this was my little adverts.ie get.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
It's all right.
That looks pretty good. So this is a Forbidden Door London turnbuckle pad.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a turnbuckle pad, not some kind of leather
it's a turnbuckle
kind of adornment.
Yeah.
Signed by Timeless Toni Storm.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
I've seen them for sale at the various shows, and I'm sure they are probably in the 100-ish range.
Oh yeah, I mean that's because they've only got, if you think about it, 12 of them.
Well, no, I'm sure they're not. They're only probably manufactured for this purpose. I'm sure they're not actually used on the ring. But that's like £25 for one of them, I guess. €30 would be £25. That's a bit of a steal, I would say.
That is a very nice little
piece.
Yeah.
Objet d'art, as Toni would call it.
Objet d'art.
It's in my bottom. She's
obsessed. She's obsessed with that.
We'll get on to Toni in a week.
A little bit, admit. Yeah,
it's kind of the main thing. So my friends' figurines selling, I sold the 4 of them for €42. So I sold those little free McDonald's figurines that you get for free for more than the value of that autographed turnbuckle pad. What a value!
That is tremendous. That's tremendous. We'll got to mention AEW All In tickets, but before that, you mentioning the clarinet man upstairs just jogged my memory, because I had an interesting encounter yesterday because we're in a similar situation of like 4 kind of flats in a little, you've been here, 4 flats in like a little kind of block, 2 opposite us and one upstairs. So we've had lots of different people coming and going upstairs, renting, like many, they only stay 6 months a year. So quite a few, I've got to know some of them. There's one guy that I've seen around, and Michelle really didn't believe me when I said this. I saw him walking from the flats down to where their garden is, which is kind of down at the bottom, with a snake around his neck. I was like, did you see that man? He had a snake around his neck. And Michelle was like, you're joking. I was like, no.
Are we talking Britney Spears at the VMAs, or
he didn't have the jobblies out, but it was like,
but in terms of the snake,
I mean, it's like it wasn't like Jake the Snake's python, but like it was significant enough that I could see it. Yeah, it wasn't like a little piddly one. It was a proper snake. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I've seen him again wearing like a jiu-jitsu outfit, right? Because so there is a jiu-jitsu school at the end of our street. So I was like, oh, okay. So I've seen him walking around like going into the flat with his like old gi on and the blue belt and everything. And I was like, okay, he likes snakes. He likes jiu-jitsu. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. Yesterday I was going to do a bit of gardening, pick a few leaves up. Yeah. He's out there on the lawn with a little 5-month-old Bengal kitten. And I was like, I stopped him in my tracks. I was not on a leash. I should add. He was taking it for a walk around the front garden on a leash. And so I haven't spoken to him before, so I kind of took this as an opportunity. It's a bit of an icebreaker if you see someone taking a Bengal for a walk. So I had a little chat with him. And then my cat, Drew, came out to investigate. And she was quite interested in the kitten. She was like, what is this? This is unusual. It's a cat, but not a typical one. So I had a little chat with him, and I'm learning. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has next.
What is he? Is he? These are just pets, or is he a wild animal trader? Or
no, I think he's a jiu-jitsu guy. But he just like
he probably gave that away.
Yeah, but just likes exotic pets, I guess. I mean, it's quite interesting. So
any all above board.
I hope so. Yeah. But yeah, kind of interesting developments there. Also on the McDonald's front, I don't know. So they've got the new McDonald's menu out now. The Friends stuff was gone. That's gone. Right?
Yeah. I probably will take a bit of a break from McDonald's now. I've gone ham with these Friends figurines.
They've now got these McDonald's cards. I don't know if you've seen this, or if they've got this in Ireland. It's like a collectible thing. You can win prizes as well.
Nice.
But they've also brought out, in McDonald's UK at least, the McGriddle. So this is like the I've never had here before, but it's like pancakes with the patty and the cheese.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning we're popping over to McDonald's. We're going to get a little sausage McGriddle. See what that's about. That should be exciting. So that's all going on, from clarinets to snakes to McGriddles to wonderful turnbuckle pads. It's all going on the ChairShot Podcast. This is what people should in for.
I will mention as well, last week we did some feedback that on the podcast there was some DIY sounds, some clanging, banging of some kind. So I'll just give a bit of context to that. My laptop was having mad issues last week. Before we joined the call, my laptop wouldn't start. Then it would start, it wouldn't respond. Then, it's maybe on its last legs. I've had it for a few years. I've had it for 4 or 5 years. And then even when we joined the call, you'll remember, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know what your experience was. I dropped off the call like 5 times.
There was a bit of droppage. And then when I did the edit Sunday night, as I do, I did do our little magic dust, pixie dust special sound nice effect
that I'd always do to it. And it came out all weird. It came out like we were little underwater frog boys. Did not sound good. That was the version I originally had uploaded, so I don't know if some people got that version. But what I did was I uploaded the unsweetened version instead. So your option was us sounding like we're little robots, or the not unedited, because I still kind of chop bits off it, but unedited, unsweetened audio. And so when that happens, sometimes you hear a little, I don't know, you probably won't be able to hear this because this hopefully will be sweetened and work correctly. But it was like, someone hitting an anvil in the background, which is weird because when we record this, we don't hear that. But on the recording, the microphones, I know your microphone and mine to an extent, can be very sensitive and pick up every little tappy. Or one thing I did last week as well is I cracked my knuckles directly into my microphone. I thought, oh, never mind, the old sweetening will take care of that. And
it did.
So if you might, I don't know what that would sound like on the recording, a sudden thunderclap. Sorry to anyone who listened to that. But
try to mute when we're doing that stuff, but sometimes you miss it. You can't do it. So
usually the sweetening takes care of it. It's specifically because that didn't work this week. That's why. That's why it was a bit weird. But I also didn't have it in me to like completely redo it. I was just like,
no.
They'll hold the little SOBs. They can just have one episode that's not quite perfect.
Yeah.
Right, shall we get into...
That is business. That's all the introductory business. Now it's the wrestling news, and we've got a lot this week. We've got a lot to get through.
We do.
First on the agenda, absences. Josh Alexander out. I haven't heard that. Is he got injured? Was this...
Apparently, well, this is Collision, which as of us recording this... is yet to air, but I don't remember. Was it on air? We talked about Collision, or was it before we started recording? I think it was before.
Yeah.
So I'll say it now for the listeners. I am a man who is often up on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
At about 1:00, and if I'm up and it's 1:00, I'll throw on Collision. Why not? I'm up anyway. But this split Collision into 2 hours, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, after the basketball, whatever that is, 3 a.m. I ain't watching it. So we're skipping Collision this week, and I've updated our little fancy tracker with the results. So whatever. But the word is that Josh Alexander was in the main event of the Sunday edition. In a trios match against Mystico and Jet Speed, and apparently there was some pre-existing knee injury that might have been exacerbated during the match, and he was carried out. So it seems Josh Alexander might need to get that taken care of, but no word on the severity or timelines or any of that.
Fair enough. We've also probably bigger news. Toni Storm said to be out for the rest of 2026. Now, Paul can't believe his luck. He is not having the best start to the fantasy.
I tell you what I feel like, Joe. I feel like when they take the boulder of shame off Homer Simpson and put on the boulder of triumph, and then it's just an even bigger boulder. So,
oh God,
this is the latest in a series of paddlings to my buttocks during this year.
So no specific injury mentioned, which has led to people speculating that it's not an injury. It is in fact maybe Tony's in the family way. Let's say I don't want to be recklessly speculating because that's their business, and unless an official announcement is forthcoming, we won't assume that. Yes, apparently out for the rest of the year, which is a big blow because for me she is like probably in the top three people I look forward to on the show every week. Really up there,
certainly in the women's division.
Yeah, up there with like an MJF, an Ospreay, whatever.
This is our first edition actually of Explain and hang on a damn second. I'm working this out. Explain sounds like KANE. Wonder sounds like under. They've been ripping off the Brothers of Destruction this whole town.
My God.
But essentially what I want to discuss about Toni, I think you're right. We shouldn't speculate until such a time that we have some sort of announcement or an inner contact saying, here's the fucking inside scoop. Even though we've recklessly speculated about Josh Alexander, well, fuck it, I don't care. I do what I want. Toni being gone leaves a big old void on the babyface side of the women's division. Now, you might argue that even going back to November last year, maybe even before, that Toni had anyway been kind of cycled down.
Yeah.
If you were to carelessly speculate, you might even read into certain things that maybe there was a reason for that. I'm not speculating anything, but I think nevertheless, even though Toni had been kind of cycled out, certainly of the world title picture, Tekla has now beaten Statlander twice in a row. It seems like there is not an obvious next challenger for Dynasty.
Yeah.
You have Willow, TBS champion still. On the babyface side, Harley, I feel like, is not there yet. You have the Brawling Birds. You could argue Hater is ready, but now they're pigeonholed into
they're
this
in the tag division.
Mina, who I would argue is not quite there either, but she's also facing Tekla on Dynamite next week, whether that's set up to a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
The fact that they're doing it on Dynamite would suggest to me anyway that is not really a pay-per-view thing. So what does that mean for AEW's headline spot on the babyface side? And does the specter of a returning Mercedes Moné lead itself onto that side, perhaps?
That's what I feel. If that wasn't the plan already, it's going to have to be. She's the only person that can fill that Toni Storm spot. We did talk last week about how she's not a natural babyface, and I think that's fair. But maybe if it's done well, I think it could work. You know, they could slot her in there. However, what about the return of Dr. Britt Baker? No, I'm joking.
Well, no, I think if there was a time to do it, because here's the thing, and I think it plays into Britt, and I think it plays into Mercedes, is that there's two levels to a Toni Storm replacement. One is babyface, so you could also turn one of the heels, I suppose. But two is star power.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I'm saying Mina. I think Willow's the closest, but Willow's TBS champion, and I don't like that they would do TBS like World, because then again, so TBS is kind of.
Britt is a heel. Britt's got. If she did come back, she'd have to be a heel, right?
Well, you would think so, but I think either her or Mercedes return now against Tekla. Say Tekla's in the ring, and either of them come out. Huge pop. Whether it's sustainable, I don't know, but that's why star power comes into it. I feel like a little bit, because
yeah,
you need someone to return that's going to get a big old reaction.
That's what I was thinking. About Britt versus Willow. Actually, it's like if she did come back as a heel, that's kind of an interesting dynamic, because they wouldn't have interacted.
No,
I think really. But I can see Mercedes. The other big question is, obviously we know. At Revolution, there was another incident with Toni Storm, which was the appearance of Ronda Rousey for the first time in AEW, which seemed, I can't believe that wasn't setting up a Toni Storm Ronda Rousey feud, because otherwise,
for sure,
why? It would make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
that must have been what they were doing. Not instantly, but like down the road.
Yeah,
obviously plans maybe then changed after that. So do we still get Rousey at some point? Do we get Rousey Moné? You know, is that the direction?
Possibly. I mean, Rousey ain't getting cheered, is the thing.
Well, that's why I think Monet would be a good opponent because although we talked about her struggles on the babyface side against Rousey, Monet is going to be 100% AEW babyface. You could imagine if they do it at Wembley, that would be a phenomenal match. I would love to actually see that at Wembley. Monet Rousey, with Monet obviously winning, of course. So interesting to see where they go. It is strange how when you take out someone like a Toni Storm, because as much as the women's division has grown and developed so much from where it used to be, it's fantastic now. You take out one or two big people and suddenly it's like, there's not that depth that you've got in the men's division where if you take out Hangman or you take out Ospreay, you've got MJF, you've got Swerve, you've got Okada, you've got a Darby Allin. There's a lot of depth there. You've got Takeshita. Interesting to see where.
I'm just looking at our file here to see if there's anybody that we're not thinking about in terms of. No, there isn't. Okay. That's the thing, right? Is like there is depth in the sense of good characters and good workers, but as you say, in terms of the top level women, there's only a handful. And fortunately, at the moment, the heel side is very stacked. You have your Tekla, you have your Megan Bain.
That's an interesting one. I know she's a tag champion. I know she's a tag champion, but if that were to end, do you turn Megan Bain face? I think it's a bit soon, but I get what you're. saying. Again, needs must, and I did compare it to Hulk Hogan 2 weeks ago in terms of star power. So she could be the next new boom period for AEW with Megan Bain as the Bainomania, Megan Mania.
The Britt Baker thing is so strange, of course. Anytime Tony Khan's asked about it, we love Britt Baker.
I'd love to have her back.
Well,
we're on the show then, brother. You're the only one.
We know that she's got a bit of the.
She's got a sort of allergy.
Her limitations, let's say.
She's got an allergy to the canvas, I think, as well. She gets a terrible rash on her shoulders. She gets too close to it. Is the problem. But it's going to be interesting. I think it's good. At least like the men's division is really cooking at the moment. I think so. Yeah. Whereas they were a bit more reliant on the face on the side.
I think if to lay the cards on the table and say what's the most likely, I think they might, based on the match being made on Dynamite, set up something for a Mina placeholder match at Dynasty, and then maybe longer term. I think they will ultimately have their hand forced into returning Mercedes as a face. I don't think Britt does return. I think if she was ever going to, this is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we know there's an element of the AJ Lee and Bella's returning to WWE in terms of the other members of the roster having passed her by to an extent. But I think she is still a big old name that you can bring in and push for the world title immediately, and no one would.
Because even when she faced Mercedes at Wembley, that was after she'd already fallen way down the pecking. You know what I mean? That was already.
She'd been gone for a while.
She'd been gone for a while. She came back. She was already down the pecking order at that point. But when she came back, it felt like a dream match because of her state, her kind of prestige. So I think you could do that.
I think the problem is when you get on Tony Khan's bad side. I think he holds a grudge like a motherfucker. He's unless your name is Phil CM Punk Brooks, in which case, I'd take a sore from bending over to accommodate you, brother. I think once you get on his bad side, historically it seems like it's very hard to get back into his good graces. Anyway, so whatever the situation is with Josh Alexander, well, we kind of know what the situation is with Josh Alexander. Whatever the situation is with Big Tone, hopefully we see her back sooner than later. the universe for fucking my fancy team yet again.
Speaking of which, do you notice
it's never Joe and Barry's lads? This stuff happens.
No. Speaking of which, Hangman Page apparently taking time off.
Yeah,
So,
2 weeks probably not on the way. This is going. He'll be back on Dynamite.
Taking 1 week off. No, that's an interesting one. I think he did take some significant time off. When was that? It was a couple of years ago. Was it?
Yeah, he returned. Well, when he came back as the heel Hangman, with that cool theme song, that was a return. So he had been off for a while prior to that return.
Was he at All In Wembley?
Which one?
He was in. So the second one, he was in the.
He was in the casino gauntlet.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he was going to attack Karen Jarrett. That's when Ricochet debuted during that spot.
Right. Remember the Jarretts. That was funny.
Jarrett, yeah.
Thank God we got rid of that shit.
So Hanger taking time off. I mean, I had predicted Star this year. From a fancy point of view, well, I guess we say fancy, but this is kind of also broadly to do with AEW. I did predict that Hangman would have kind of a down year after, won the world title last year, was so heavily involved in the TV. Just the way the end of the year was going with the Samoa Joe reign, the MJF reign especially. My feeling, this played into my decision to not pick Hangman ultimately was my feeling was he would be lower in the pecking order. Of course, made a bold prediction. Whether the stipulation will stick or not, okay, you and Ben are very pushing back on it quite severely last week, but if it would appear he won't be going for the world title anytime soon. And now taking time off does feel like finally that kind of prediction of sorts that he would have a lesser year is kind of starting to play into things. So I do feel like after a stipulation such as that, again, whether they want to actually stick to it or not, I feel like AEW is more a company that doesn't go against its own stipulations. But I think the stipulation being what it is, it makes sense character-wise for that character to disappear for a while. You might have had one, like they did with when Toni Storm, ironically enough, disappeared after All In London 24, after losing to Mariah May before doing the return and the amnesia angle. They just shot her walking out of the stadium, still in her gear, and tottering away into the night.
Hangman do the same, come back as Adam Page.
Maybe.
Nice to meet you, Madam Page.
But no, if they had shown, they do the post-match, and maybe they did this and I missed it, but they do the post-match interview, Hangman, what's next for you? And he just says nothing, gives a look, and just walks off into the sunset, quote unquote. So I wonder if we would get I want a vigilante Hangman gimmick, kind of vigilante Sting. He'll come back as like a baby face, but he's just like, I don't know, comes back to fuck shit up. You know what I mean? Like some kind of slightly tortured, but not like a heel gimmick, but like a kind of. This is the thing. I mean, I've had this conversation with a number of people, and I get all kinds of pushbacks, agreeals. It's the whole spectrum. And we talked about on this show that the Hangman character went through this, in my opinion, great development arc during his heel run and the swerve feud and all that. And then as soon as he won the title off Mox, it felt like he time traveled back to 2022.
Yeah.
And like nothing that he had done actually mattered. His look went backwards, his music went backwards, his entrance went backwards. And I felt a little bit personally like that Hangman, heel Hangman, was, in my opinion, like the best version we got. When we talk about people like Swerve Strickland, when they debut in the company and you see their look, you see their their entrance and their not necessarily how they wrestle, because they're obviously great wrestlers when they come in, but just how they present themselves, and you see the evolution from like debut at Revolution, albeit he was in a suit or whatever, but post Revolution 2021, whenever it was, to modern day Swerve, and you see, okay, that's mid Carter Swerve, and that's main event Swerve, and you can see that there's a clear evolution.
Yeah.
And then Hangman Page's graph is not a straight line. It's like a circle. He goes through it. And I think he had a great look as a heel with the kind of the mustache, the wet hair, the jacket, and the heel theme song. I thought it was like a great package. Ooh, hello.
Oh.
And then it just undid all of it.
Yeah. I think that's
felt a little bit disappointing.
Why the world title reign was a bit disappointing as well, because it didn't step up a gear. It sort of just went back to normal. So it was a bit flat.
Yeah. Is a heel going back to his babyface theme song the sort of laziest? Or are there examples where it works? Do you know what I mean? I don't like the recent trend. And I guess it's a recent trend because I can't think of too many older examples where someone turns heel, changes their music, turns face again, and changes their music back, and have two different themes. So that seems strange.
Yeah, it was a bit. So we don't know when he's back out for the time being.
We don't. He's not here to make a trade. Shame.
No.
And he didn't send one in.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
On other news, details came out about the KANE's attempt to buy WWE back when it was
that would have been
sale. I think that did come out of the time. I was a bit confused. That did come out of the time. I remember Toni commenting on that they were interested. I guess maybe it was specific details of
the amount.
The amount and everything. So yeah, I mean, it was never going to happen because Vince. It was basically the whole thing was set up to do a UFC WWE merger. It was never.
Well, the stuff that's leaked in the last weeks, or maybe it was a month, but there was messages leaked that this was all pre-arranged in advance of any deal. Actually,
this was all
actually being submitted.
This was Ari Emanuel, owner of the Endeavor Group, wanting to get UFC off of their books because of they had so much debt. And Vince McMahon looking to screw over his adult children who wanted to inherit the company and get revenge for them forcing him out. A story which I think we glossed over that a bit quickly in the wrestling media. Do you remember when Vince McMahon was forced out of his own company by his own children and then came back and sold it out from under them? Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about CM Punk pushing some white stage. Anyway.
Not like Vince McMahon to be forcing himself into anything.
Ooh, yeah. Biggest
say. Don't need to say the word alleged on that one. Absolute.
Biggest.
Can't wait for him to die.
Biggest wrestling story of the century.
If you want to see an Irish jig on a grave, just wait for McMahon to die. I mean, my God.
Yeah, so I wonder if one day the KANEs will end up owning WWE. That's kind of my thought, is that at some point the kind of the TKO Endeavor thing is they're going to milk it for all it's worth, and then they're going to sell 100%. It to private equity or some kind of Saudi private equity consortium. They're going to milk it even further, run it into the ground, and at some point, Tony Khan will end up just buying whatever's like WCW. He'll end up just buying all of the history, the trademarks and everything, and then we'll get AEW WrestleMania every year. That's my prediction. Give it about 10, 15 years, though. It's not going to happen, soon. But yeah, in 10 to 15 years, I think that'll happen. Anyway,
it is funny the fact that WWE finally did go into, let's say, private ownership, whatever you want to call it, because I know they're privately owned prior to whenever they went on the, was it 2000 to 2001 when they went on the stock market? Yeah. That it is now a property to be bartered for, for all intents and purposes.
It's just an asset, yeah. It's like any of these other assets are getting tossed around. They could even be bought up. You look at this Warner Brothers, Paramount deal. You can see WWE being bought into one of these big mega mergers and then just becoming like a department, like WCW was in AOL Time Warner, and then they just again it becomes just a property that someone can pick up. So Tony Khan put a bit of rainy day money aside for when that happens.
You got 6.9 billion, brother. You get it for cheaper than that in a couple
definitely. Claudio signs a dual deal with CMLL, which I think is the first time this has gone the other way.
Well, no, I mean
were there others?
Takeshita, obviously, was maybe one of the first ones. He was with AEW before he was with New Japan.
Right, okay.
He was with DDT and AEW.
He was with DDT, then he signed the dual deal, yeah. Interesting. They all seem very
with CMLL, the first one, I think.
Yes. Obviously they're very high on Claudio, and
yes,
he's been, the world champion, so good for him.
He's since lost the world championship.
He's shot the belt, but
which, by the way, that's the first, speaking of fancy, that's our first occurrence of the new 3-point bonus for wins a title in CMLL, New Japan, or Ring of Honor.
Did we have a loss?
No, we don't have any points for a loss. I need to check, by the way, when Takeshita won the New Japan TV title. So I missed that one. No, that was, Takeshita should have got 3 points for that, because that was in end of February. I'm going to add that right now. This is the problem. No, I'm going to say for next year, this is my idea. I'm going to suggest we get rid of it. It's too hard to keep track of.
I maybe just make it world titles. You know what I mean? Like, not all of these mid-card belts.
Yeah.
If it's like a world title, maybe they get 5 points or something, but yeah. Yes, Claudio, new contract, very interesting. Wembley tickets obviously went on sale. We mentioned that last week, or last episode. Has been a WrestleTix update, which is that apparently about 20,000 tickets sold in the first 5 days.
Yeah.
Is that good? Is that bad? Last time they ran Wembley, 2024, they shifted 30,000 in the first week.
Yeah.
So obviously it is a bit disappointing if you're marketing it on that kind of scale. It's weird because on one hand, selling 20,000 tickets in a week it's like amazing. For any other show, it'd be like 20,000 tickets in a week. But for Wembley, it's just so big. To me, anything less than 50,000 is like, well, why are you doing it? It's just going to be half empty if you're not hitting at least 50,000.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And I don't know, maybe it's a good problem to have, but there's still a long way to go. Still plenty of matches to be announced. I could still see them getting 50-odd thousand. It's not
40 to 50 is my prediction.
It's not out of the realms of possibility, especially if there's a Ronda Rousey match that gets a lot of publicity.
Some celeb involvement.
Who we're thinking?
Who would be a good English celeb to get involved? Rylan, whatever his name is, with the big teeth.
Mr. Blobby.
Mr. Blavy. Oh, you gotta have Mr. Blavy.
David Attenborough. He can be in Hangman's Corner.
Okay, hang on. Let me look up here. Famous English celebs.
Henry the Hoover.
Who's gonna suggest to me here? Ian McKellen. Oh God! Look at Google's AI overview. Let me down here. Seriously. Famous English celebs. Ian McKellen is first on the list. Famous for Gandalf. Come on. Mr. Bean is not a bad shout though.
Mr. Bean, he could do it.
Ant and Dec hosting it.
Ant and Dec, yeah.
I know. Okay.
No, but I think
2026.
It's going to be. It's a tall order. I wonder if this. Toni seems really, wants to do Wembley. It's this is the thing he wants to do. I just do wonder, should they move it to July like they did last year, and put it in one of the Premier League stadiums? You've got the Emirates.
Like he doesn't own a club that has a Premier League stadium.
To be fair, that's a tiny stadium. It's like 20-odd thousand.
Yeah, sell it out and boost the prices.
Be better off doing an arena than Craving. It's a bit of a shithole.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
That's what I'm thinking. You've got Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You've got the Emirates. You've got London, even the London Stadium where West Ham play. These are all like smaller stadiums where if you sell 35 to 40,000 tickets,
and the optics would be great.
It's a sellout.
Like this full stadium.
That's a sellout if you sell 35 to 40,000, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas Wembley, it's legitimately you can have
one of the bigger stadiums in Europe.
Yeah, in the world, you can have 100,000 people in Wembley if you, depending on how you set it up. They've done that for boxing. So it's just such bad optics if you got 40,000 people there, which is an amazing crowd. It's an amazing.
50 looked good. 50 looked good because they had a big stage.
Yeah. 50 was fine. I think if they can hit that, it will look fun. But
I would love if they did Wembley in front of 10,000 people in one little,
just in one corner,
and the stage was going the whole way around. This comic giant stage and little segments, one little...
Or just only have people on the pitch, no one in the stands.
Oh, there you go.
Just half all the stands, just to have everyone on the pitch. There you go. That'll look good.
With regards to the tickets, here's my thoughts. Is I was expecting way less than 20,000 actually, because when you obviously got the ticket during the pre-sale. I think I probably could have got pre-sale tickets, but the tickets going on general sale serendipitously lined up with my monthly payday off work.
Nice.
So I said that's grand because I have the mortgage money come out and the various bills and shit that I have to pay, and then I get the big old money, and so I can get everything sorted out that day. And so joined the queue to get tickets. Tickets went on sale 10 a.m. I joined the queue at 9:59 to get tickets.
Yeah.
I was number 180 in the queue.
Yeah.
Which didn't fill me with confidence. I was expecting to be not like 1,000, but maybe there'd be a couple hundred.
Yeah.
180. I said, 1 minute before. So when the number came out as 20, I actually thought, given what I had seen, was actually quite decent. Here's the thing. When they did 30 whatever in 2024, I don't remember the exact date, but I remember the tickets going on sale for 2024 was relatively soon after 2023.
It's like Christmas, wasn't it? December.
A couple of months. So people might have had fresh in their mind, they just sold 80,000.
Yeah.
When tickets for 2024 go on sale, I better fucking jump on it. Now, 2 years after the fact, the ticket buying experience is quite different, right? This also is affecting WWE and their WrestleMania tickets. People know they did 50 last time. It's probably not going to sell out. I'm going to sit, and when the ticket prices come down slightly, that's when I'll take it. I expect there'll be a decent amount of people doing that. Also, the first time you do it, it's just going to be hotter. The second time you do it, it's going to be not quite as hot. The third time is going to be not quite as hot because people have done it twice. Like, for example, both times I went along with my brother and my friend Stephen. Stephen now, who has another baby, so 2 babies, so can't make it work this year. So he's sadly is not going to be joining us this year. So that's one less person who's getting through the turnstiles who otherwise would have been guaranteed. So there's also life situations that come up that, the quality of life and the cost of life crisis and all that, which, doesn't make it as easy, especially if you're coming from...
If you're traveling as well, that's the thing. So tickets the prices are pretty good from my perspective. Like, okay, if you're getting ringside and stuff like that, you're paying, it's like £1,400, but that's like, it's WWE, that wouldn't even get you in the fucking back row, you know what I mean? Like, that is a good price. Or you can get like 50 quid tickets, 20 quid. Like, it's not too expensive, but there is that, the hotels, the travel, that is all expensive. And it's like you say, maybe if this was the first year again, your mate's going to you're going to be like, oh, I've really got to go, I've really got to make an effort. Once you've been twice, it's like, well, do I need to go for it's
that's the thing is that the first one was a like, will this ever happen again? Scenario. It was the first time wrestling in Wembley in 21 years. As well, And then you get into the issue of, do you want to actually promote and market this event and sell some tickets, Tony? Or are you just going to assume that they're going to sell themselves? As they often seem to. I'm just looking now. My ticket cost £140. So I'm sitting where I was last time, next to Big Shad Khan, Jack Whitehall, and Marco Silva. Like the row behind us in their blocks.
Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Block.
We are instead at the very front row of the second, you have the ground tier, and then you've the tier above.
Middle tier,
Middle tier. So very front row of the middle tier, right next to the stairs for easy access.
Nice.
Perfect. So £140, which is about €170. The hotel for 2 people is €110, which is not bad. About £100.
Not bad yet.
For a hotel in Brentford.
Oh, nice.
Is it Novotel Brentford?
Okay.
£100. It's fine. Won't be staying at Chiswick Lodge this time. Sorry,
that's a shame.
Rat-infested shithole. I stayed at the last 2 times. Save money. Gone for something a bit nicer. And flights were about €100 in and out. So like €50 each way. Which is grand. So totally for me is like 50 for hotel, 100 for 50 for hotel, 100 for flight, and 140 for tickets. So you're talking about €290, which will be roughly 260-ish pounds for flight, hotel, and ticket.
I mean, it's not bad, is it really? When you consider the price of concerts and football, like trying to go to the World Cup or something. I mean, fucking hell, you need to sell a kidney. So it's not too bad.
No, it's once a year or once every 2 years lately. So I was always going to go to it.
That's what I do think. Let's Tony just have a little sit down once we got through this Wembley and have a little think about it. Are you going to come back and do Wembley again? Why not have a look at another stadium?
How big do you want the stage to be to fill that people aren't going?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Craven Cottage would be good for a dynasty, or obviously would be whatever. Forbidden Door they did in London last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what legs Forbidden Door has realistically, given the quality in New Japan. It's more CMLL, but I know it's a New Japan co-production historically. But let's say do a proper AEW non-all-in stadium show in August 2027. Even do it in Craven Cottage, because obviously the demand for 20,000 tickets is there. Do it in there and sell it out, Or as you said, if you expect, let's say Wembley does 40k again, get Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I don't know what the cost difference would be between Tony using Craven Cottage and having to.
Well, assuming it's Craven Cottage, but it's not. I don't think it's like a lot of. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Any other news? Bit of footy. So good, decent week for United, even though they drew because Chelsea and Liverpool lost.
That's a funny old one because number one, obviously in the United Bournemouth game, look, sometimes referee decisions go for you, sometimes they go against you. I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, it did feel like when United drew on Friday, it did feel like and then Chelsea and Liverpool just doing like, after you, sir. No, I insist, after you. I tell you what, I'm not necessarily going to make a prediction here. I'll just say that I wouldn't be surprised if neither Chelsea or Liverpool got that 5th place spot. I wouldn't be surprised if they got caught by a surprise outfit like Everton or Brentford or one of those teams that are in the 2 or 3 spots below.
Yes, I mean Everton on one win away now from getting in the mix.
I mean Chelsea, I think have in that group of 900 players they have. I think they have a solid squad. The problem is that they fired their manager and brought in this David Brent, Bozo, who is more obsessed with coming up with kitschy one-liners than running a football team, it seems like. He's clueless, he is. What a bad decision bringing him in. But that's Chelsea's MO lately is signing, and I know he was working for Strasbourg, which is their satellite club anyway, but it seems like he's the Liam Delap signing of managers, where he's the hot thing, get him in. Is he actually any good?
No,
other people might want him, so we'll get him.
He'll do what he's told. That's the thing. I think he's a bit
brought in on a 6-year deal as well. I see he wouldn't sign Pep to a 6-year deal.
No.
Let's keep doing this. This guy, Rezenier, God love him, he's useless. So many bad signings for Chelsea as well. Chelsea, like I say, Chelsea got they got a great midfield. I think João Pedro was a great signing. Liam Delap's rubbish. Garnacho's rubbish. Half the players they brought in somewhere are rubbish, frankly. Goalkeeper, they've needed a goalkeeper for 5 years. They just won't sign one for whatever reason. Probably still paying for Kepa, who's still to date the most expensive goalkeeper of all time.
I've got a lot of like mercenary players. I think is like Garnacho, Enzo Fernandez. Like, I don't feel like any of those players really like.
I think Enzo and Caicedo are a great midfield.
No, they're good players, but do they really want to be at Chelsea? Like,
do they love Chelsea?
They're not Chelsea through and through. They're like, I want to go and play for Barca, Real, Atletico Madrid, maybe somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, they're just on the transitional players. They don't want to be at Chelsea. Also, you also have to think back to like before Abramovich bought Chelsea were like a regional like club. They were provincial like London club. They were not big club. They had won about 5 trophies in their whole history before
the FA Cup in 90.
They won a cup with this cup and a couple of FA Cups. Yeah, they won a few cups here and there. They were basically like Tottenham. They were that level. And Abramovich,
not the Tottenham of today.
Not just Tottenham. Like, in 2003, they were like at a similar level to Tottenham. Yeah. And then Abramovich comes in, he spends money like it's going crazy, top managers, top players, they win everything. Abramovich leaves, Chelsea are going to revert back, I think, to me. I just see them, but they're not going to go back to being maybe like, I don't know, a mid-table team, but I see them as like Aston Villa or like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's funny because they're still spending huge amounts of money. It's just they don't spend it on good players is the difference. They sign it. It's like they're the football club equivalent of like house flipping TV shows where you buy a house, do it up a little bit, and then you sell it on.
Sorry.
Half the players they buy, they have no intention of actually using or
they'll sell them
long term having in their team. Yeah,
and they don't have unlimited money either. It's not like Abramovich where you could just spend what you wanted. They, at some point they'll run out of money or they won't be able to sell the players. But don't hold out much.
But I think their model doesn't lend itself to a hugely inexperienced manager. To have this huge squad of a very young squad, also a lot of experience, especially in their defense. And then Liverpool are a whole other thing. I think Slot is one of the more interesting stories this season because he seems like he's always one game away from real pressure. Yeah, and then he'll win the game, and you go, oh, actually, maybe he's all right, and then he'll lose the next game. And you go, Slot's under pressure. And then you win the next game. You go, oh, actually, maybe it's all right. And then you lose again. It's this constant ping pong. Comfort and being under real pressure. It seems like he can't just get a singular run under his feet. And I thought, obviously, they beat Galatasaray in midweek. Really good result, 4-0. I thought, okay, build off that. Next game, lose again. So... I mean, of those two teams, I do think Liverpool would be the more likely to finish 5th. Yeah, so I just think Chelsea. Chelsea's manager is like a total bozo. Not that Slot is immune from bozo criticism, but like
no, he's all right. He's not.
He's not such a little weirdo.
Liam Jr. Ireland. Well, so it's international break. Ireland have got a big game.
Oh, on Thursday
away. So this is a one-off game, right?
It's a one-off game. Yeah. So one-off game away to Czech Republic.
8 one-off games, and those teams go through to another one-off playoff. Is that right?
No, it's a semi-final. So we play Czech Republic on Thursday, and if we beat them, we play a final at home.
Right,
and whoever wins that is in the World Cup. So
that's a one. It's not. There's no 2 legs. This is just
no 2 legs. One off.
Both one off of single leg games. So
it will look like, based on who's playing the other game, we're playing Czech Republic on Thursday away. If we can beat Czech Republic, it'll look like Denmark at home will be the likely game. Not easy by any stretch.
Confidence level. What's house on a scale of 10?
6. Because Ireland are one of those teams that are just liable to shit the bed, Yeah. Granted, to even be in this, it looked dead and buried. Like we lost to Armenia.
Yeah.
And it looked like, it's fucked. We need to win our last 3 games in a row, including a game against Portugal.
Yeah.
Then we just fucking beat. Like it was nothing. Beat them 2-0. Ronaldo got sent off very funnily as well. Beat Portugal and beat Hungary. Beat Szoboszlai's Hungary in the last game as well with the famous Troy Parrott, which has become a very famous Irish goal in Irish football history. Troy Parrott hat trick. So Parrott's on 3 5 goals in 2 games. So if he can keep going, he's kind of surpassed Evan Ferguson as the great Irish hope. And he seems to be doing very well in the Eredivisie, where he's banged them in for, I think, plays for AZ Alkmaar.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see him show up at a mid-table Premier League club, potentially at some point. Tripart. Obviously, he was at Tottenham before that. Tottenham would love him back, I'm sure. Tottenham would love him back, I'm sure.
Maybe they'll sign him next season for the...
maybe a Forest, maybe something like that.
For the championship run.
So...
Czech Republic. Northern Ireland, tricky one against Italy. Away to Italy. And then Wales was entertaining Bosnia.
Although Italy, when they're not winning tournaments, love not qualifying for. So I don't know what it is in the Italian DNA lately.
They're all the players are shit. I think that's the main problem.
Yeah, still won the Euros against England.
That was 6 years.
What was that about? It's like Baker coming back for that one match with Mercedes.
No, that was like Vader coming back and beating Will Ospreay and Rev Pro. Absolute disgrace. Well, it'll be interesting. I'll be following that. We've got a couple of friendlies for England, so nothing.
No Trent in the England squad. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean he's an interesting player. I think he's the one you have to sort of build the whole system around him.
Yeah,
otherwise it doesn't work. And that's why
I think that's one of the reasons why Liverpool are struggling this year as well.
Yeah, and Real Madrid haven't been playing him as much because they don't want to build around him because they've also got as many Galacticos as you can shake a stick at. So he's in an awkward position where he's this brilliant player, but he has to go to a team that's sort of small enough for him to be one of the top players, but he wants to be at Real Madrid. So, yeah, it's tricky.
I mean, him gone seems like that's why Salah, in my mind, is struggling this season because him and Salah in their right wing was such a devastating partnership. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting because then Liverpool bought Frimpong to replace him and then quickly realised this guy cannot play right back. So that's why Liverpool sold Trent and ended up playing Szoboszlai right back, which is a bit of a mess. But
yeah.
And then I guess the last thing to talk about is Tottenham. They had what was in my mind, their FA Cup final this week. This is their last game of the season against Forest or West Ham. They got to win. This is at all costs, win at all costs.
Yeah.
I only caught the second half of it. I didn't catch the first half. What I saw, they were absolutely atrocious. Lost 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest, the team below them at the time, who are now above them. The saving grace was that West Ham were beaten by Villa. But West Ham's next game is Wolves at home. So potentially some points on the board for West Ham. That was in decent form. The interesting thing is that Tottenham, as of us speaking, still have not actually fallen into the drop zone.
No.
At any point.
They've just been plummeting sort of towards it.
Yes.
Not hit it.
They actually haven't been in the drop zone at any point. But if they fall into it, I don't know how likely they are to come back out. I think they're in a situation where they just need to try and get points to keep their head above water.
Yeah.
The problem is in 2026, in their last 13 games, they've got 5 points. 5 points out of 39.
I'm just looking at the they haven't beaten a Premier League team this year.
December 28th, I think was their last one.
But they've beaten 3. They beat
Champions League.
They beat Borussia Dortmund, they beat Frankfurt, and they beat Atletico Madrid. But they beat
Atletico Madrid, to be fair, in a game that didn't matter because they were 3 goals down. Like,
wow.
I wouldn't say that
like that.
Really counts.
It's green. It's green here. The results.
They lost the tie.
Yeah. But they won the league.
And the Pride, which then they lost 3-0 at home to Forest.
Yes. Sunderland up next. Brighton, Wolves, Villa. You don't know. I don't know. They look so bereft of any kind of anything. Just no. They look like when Jamie Carragher said that leave the football before the football leaves you about Casemiro. Yeah. It looks like the football has left the entire Tottenham squad. Like they just none of them have got. I think some of them are trying. It's not that they've all given up, but they've just got so they've been haunted. They've been cursed
They also have a lot of players who, and I don't know whether this is their transfer strategy or whatever. It's obviously they're not intending to do it, but they find themselves with a lot of players who either are like, were big potential players who never really reached the potential. There's Xavi Simmons, Richarlison to an extent, Kolo Muani, Tell, who through the injuries they have are more or less their front four lately. Not great players at all. And the problem is they're reliable players. Kulusevski, Madison, have been out for like the whole season. And will it be enough, given how, as you said, haunted the squad has become? Will it be too little, too late if a Kulusevski comes back? And is he enough on his own to put the squad on his back and get it ticking? Or, you know, looking at, I predicted like 6-7 weeks ago that they're going through a bad period, but kind of all, like West Ham were going through a similarly bad period. Wolves, obviously. And then sometimes it just kind of peters out and you start picking up points again. And I predicted that Spurs with their squad would eventually reach that point. Still looking at the old clock. Is this bus ever coming? Because they keep losing. So, I mean, again, they're not in the drop zone yet, but if West Ham in 3 weeks' time, whenever the Premier League is back, if West Ham beat Wolves and Tottenham do fall into that drop zone, I don't know. And final thing before we get to our what do we call them? Features. I do have a recurring. It actually is self a feature, so it's a nice. Yeah. Bozo of the week is back. Any guesses who this week's Bozo of the week is?
I don't know. Is it wrestling related or?
It is wrestling related. It's an AEW wrestler, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay. I think I know. Is it someone in my fantasy team?
Yes.
Yes, is the answer.
So, I mean, you and me, Joe, are sort of on the same page with regards to, we don't really use social media very much. No, I mean, I've for years have been a very, very infrequent poster of any kind.
Yeah.
You're basically off it altogether. So when you see a wrestler, in this case, Buzz of the Week is Ricochet, kind of get into the gimmick, I want to say, of being a outspoken Twitter, do I say like troll or what? Like he's not afraid to clap back, as the kids be saying. But when that behavior draws incredibly negative attention to you and the company you work for, maybe it's time to reevaluate whether going on Twitter and interacting with what is for the most part on Twitter a hive of scum and villainy.
Absolute trash.
Do you know what I mean? Like, okay. Yeah. I mean, I think one thing he said is valid, which is that he and his wife get a lot. I mean, I'm sure stuff said to them 100 times worse than what he's said and got in trouble for. But like, then don't be on Twitter. The solution is relatively simple. I mean, a lot of people are kind of addicted to it at the end of the day, right? You can post, you can post but not read things. Just go on there. If you got a show you need to plug, go and post. You don't need to be reading things on these places. That's the one thing I would say. Like, I know it's hard to resist, and you're right, it's about addiction, but there's no reason for anyone to have to actually read. Like, you schedule your post, you're out of there. Yeah. Like, what? There's no reason to read these things. You know what I mean? I'm not. It doesn't mean people should send it, but there's also, you can protect yourself from it, I think. Yeah. So not saying there's a joke on or a meme I saw that was like, what the fuck is, cyberbullying? Just turn the phone off. And it's a bit trite, but you know what I mean? Like, you can, and there's certain people like Ricochet, and I think Swerve Strickland is like as well. They're reading everything. They're on there reading every reply and getting angry and replying to people. It's like, why are you just Meltzer syndrome? Why are you winding yourself up? Just don't need to be there. Yeah. These people are like nothing. Idiots. Yeah, and not saying necessarily that this is what happened here, because I agree that his comment was not really acceptable, to be honest. Well, you know, when you put yourself into that arena, let's say, there's so many people who can dish it out and say the most awful, unbelievably horrific stuff to you, and you go back and call someone a dumbass.
Yeah,
and the pearls are being clutched. And Tony Khan, can you believe what this fucking guy said to me? This is the thing. You know that's the environment you are dipping your toe and diving into. And look, at the end of the day, I feel like ultimately, if you decide through your own agency, you're a grown man or woman. If you go and do that, and you work for a publicly facing company, of course, whatever you say and do is your own business. It's not your company's business. But it's that thing of, if you go and you say something and it doesn't land well with the general populace, then it's ultimately for you to sleep in the bed. You make it, you know. So I would suggest that other wrestlers learn also from that experience, and maybe consider whether there is any real value to you, your mental health, your professional health, let's call it. If it's worth calling at Kurt Hawkins lover 123 a nonce or whatever, you know, like, in the grand scheme of things, is it worth it?
Nah. Bozo, give us a fantasy update, Paul. How's that going?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have added the extra points for Konosuke Takeshita, so apologies to Barry that I missed that one.
Shit.
This was a bad decision on my part to have that as a bonus, but I have said it now, so we have to do it. Unless the three of us come to a fucking just knocking on the head. That was a stupid idea, because it is impossible to keep track of.
Well, what did we say? New Japan, AEW,
and New Japan, Ring of Honor on CMLL, which doesn't seem like that much. But like, obviously, Takeshita won that thing. I didn't fucking see any news stories about it. I completely missed it. I don't even remember now. They said it on. It came out on Dynamite this week or last week. They said the New Japan TV champion. I was like, whoa, what? What did that happen? Anyway. I've added those points for now. We can maybe talk about it next week if we want to knock that one on the head, as we say. As far as the points go, okay, first of all, Joe, you're still winning by 16 pointeroos. Closer, Barry still. Barry now has Ospreay back. That's the big thing. So I am, of the three of us, the only person who still has a wrestler on 0 points. That's Big Merc.
Big Merc, she'll be back next week.
Big Merc, hopefully to be back soon. And some points for me. Tony Storm out. Bandito with visa issues, apparently. Also on my team. Great. Mark Briscoe, where have you gone, brother?
Briscoe, for a big disappointment. Briscoe, 5 matches. Oof.
Where's Mark Briscoe? Where's Mark Briscoe? Lena Cross is at 5 matches. Same as Mark Briscoe. So I'm on 261, so I'm nearly 100 points behind you now at this point, Joe. Barry on 336, so quite close. And as I said, Ospreay is now in play for Barry. I was kind of, I don't want to say hoping from a fancy point of view, that Ospreay would be out a little bit longer than he ultimately has been.
Or at least not wrestling straight away.
I was hoping more June for him to.
I was thinking May, probably.
May-ish.
Yeah, it's a bit.
But he's back, so he's going to start picking up points.
The Hangman's out. But so that is,
that's a trade. That's a trade. We obviously had some 5-pointers from the Pape as well.
Yeah.
Bandito, Andrade, both on my team. Thank God. 5 stars. So 5 points each. Takeshita and Mox. 1 for you, 1 for Barry. 5 stars each. And FTR versus the Young Bizzles. 5.5 stars. So 6 points each. 6 bonus points in addition to their wrestling bonuses. So that meant 6 points for you, 6 points for Barry, as you each have one of FTR. So the bonus points were pretty evenly spread. We each had 2 wrestlers picking up bonus points, and then 1 extra point for you and Barry. So Toni Storm's out. So that means I need to bring in a replacement. My 3rd transfer
in as many months
already. Well, I mean, look, Powerhouse Hobbs had to go. He's not going.
Yeah.
I really, my hand is forced there. I did pull the trigger on a tactical substitution.
Yeah.
Turned out Danny Garcia for Lena Cross. Now, Lena Cross has already picked up points, so Lena Cross looks like a good bring in.
Yeah.
But the timing was so bad, because if I had just waited, I could have brought in Lena.
Waited for the fallout, maybe, but yeah, it's a bit early.
Again, how do you know that Toni Storm is going to suddenly be out for the year?
Yeah.
So I am.
It was one day, wasn't it? You did it on the Tuesday. You made the trade on the Tuesday show, and Dynamite, Toni Storm wasn't there, so fucking hell. Literally one day. And
I mean, what can you do? She had a match on Dynamite.
Well, that's
match announced for
That's what confused me, because I was like, oh, wait, yeah, she was supposed to be on there. Oh, dear. Interesting.
So who do I bring in for Toni? I mean, I have a couple of names in mind, but I did want to ask you, as an interesting little thought experiment, and again, you feel free to refuse here, but I was going to ask you, if you had today a sudden injury or someone from your team, who would you bring in to replace them? You've got Jack Perry is on 38 points, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson on 35. I'll tell you now who my thought is, just so you know that I'm not stealing your idea, right? I have 2 names in mind.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards one of them. The 2 names were, number 1, and this is the one I'm not leaning towards,
right,
but I had an idea, was Kenny Omega. Because Kenny Omega, I'll tell you why. Because Kenny Omega has a match with Swerve on Dynamite, which I'm pretty sure he's going to win.
Yeah.
So short-term points. I'm thinking all in, triple points. He'll probably be on that show. Maybe a feel-good win. But you have the infrequency of his matches and stuff. So I'm not necessarily leaning towards him. The person I'm leaning towards is recent signee, in a sense. Mystico.
What did I say? Oh, okay.
Mystico. As a trios champ.
I was thinking that, because you got him and Jack Perry as champions, so there's going to be those defense points.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of confidence in Perry is the only thing, and I don't know if that's just based on him rather than, because Tony pushes him, he has matches, he wins, he's there. Mystico's a good one. It's kind of could be a good points getter, but will he be
around that much?
Is he actually
now that he's all elite, maybe he'll hold the trios title for a while. Maybe he'd be on pay-per-views defending the trios titles at All In. I mean, why would he not be at All In as a signee? So even though Mystico's not in the top 5 points getters in terms of the whole year, 2 matches, 24 points from 2 matches, which is quite impressive. Who else is there? I mean, as I said, Jack Perry, the Young Bucks doing pretty well, but again, now that they've not won the title from FTR, what does that mean for them? Mark Davis, El Clon, Mystico, Harley Cameron, Danny Garcia, who I just traded out, Wheeler Yuta, Desmond Xavier. Again, you're down into the names where it's like, do I have any confidence? I was thinking initially maybe David Finlay wouldn't be a bad get.
Yeah.
But it just seems like whatever Tony Khan's fascination, we get to this in Dynamite, with beating those guys like drums. I don't know what does that mean for them? They just lose constantly. So I think I'm going to go Mystico.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna rubber stamp it. Where's my little hammer? Trade Toni Storm, and how I tell you, breaks my heart, to be honest, to trade out Toni Storm. Breaks my heart because the last 2 years she's been such a consistent. Yeah, she's been consistent player. She's been in my team all 3 years, so she is a team ball.
She's team ball through and through.
She's my Orange Cassidy is for you. But pains me to say, Toni Storm, you're out, and you're replaced Not a bad replacement. Mystico. It is done.
Boom.
Now, if Toni Storm comes back in 2 weeks and goes, haha, it was a ploy.
I'm going to sign her.
Tony Khan, you and me going to have a talk. And it's going to be a serious, we're going to step outside. We might be making a sequel to that Jack Perry CM video. Me and Tony Khan. Okay, so that's my third transfer of the year. I mean, god damn. Pars, Hobbs, Danny Garcia, and Toni Storm. And to be fair, I think the people, Andrade, I think, was a great get.
Yeah.
I think Andrade has been doing great for me. Leaning Cross, I think.
Good.
And Mystico for Tony.
They're good.
So let's see. I do have a bonus KANE and The Undertaker. We'll do a quick one. Explain in The Undertaker. I fucking nearly gave away the game there. Which is just about something you touched on earlier in regards to star making in AEW. When we're talking about Toni Storm leaving a void. And then you mentioned with regards to Collision, that it was like a rampage. I don't remember if this was the end before we started recording. But the quality of Collision, you were saying, was very skillful, like a rampage. And I wanted to actually look at this in terms of how AEW is structured, usually, especially Collision, and whether that lends itself to creating stars. And the framework that I'm going to use to illustrate this is I'm going to look at how many wrestlers AEW have on their books this year, or maybe not necessarily have on their books, but how many wrestlers this year have wrestled only once. So if you give me 1 second, I will filter just to one here.
Filter that. We're going to have a little look at that. Okay.
Filter to one, please. One. Okay. The filter's not working. I don't know why, but I can do a sort. Okay, so what do we have here? One match. This year in AEW, 46 wrestlers have only wrestled once this year. So what I'm getting at here is an over-reliance on not squash matches necessarily, although frankly a lot of these are squash matches, but like this is the thing with WWE, and maybe to an extent why people in WWE feel more important. Now I know that we've had, you have complaints about 50-50 booking and so on, which means kind of no one gets above. But the fact is in WWE you have a core group of wrestlers who you are seeing more or less every week. And one wrestler is wrestling another, and so you don't have Jordan Oasis, Gravity,
Gia Jewel,
Dom Kubrick, Alpha Zoe, Action Andretti, Sammy Guevara, Tatovic, Jaden Monroe,
Charisma.
Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of the modern wrestling fan, to an extent, you don't glean much from a wrestler beating a local talent.
No.
I love it when it's a fancy Brody King match and I get 4 points for it. But typically it doesn't do it. It does nothing for nobody. But AEW, who have on the books, let's see, down to 185. So we have like 145 wrestlers have wrestled on AEW TV this year, and 46 of them have only wrestled once. So that's a third of the total wrestler count, right? Are one-time appearances only. So again, what does that mean for the even the wrestlers who are beating these guys? Because they're not beating, like there's a match on Collision this week, La Faction Ingobernable against 3 Geeks. Like, would it mean more if La Faction Ingobernable were against 3 guys who are on Collision and or Dynamite every week or most weeks? You know what I mean? The fact that you're bringing in outside people, does that actually stymie somewhat the ability of these lower card or mid card people to actually feel more important than they are potentially?
I don't know, because I think that is by design to put them at a certain place on the card. If you know what I mean? Like, they are not the bottom, but they're like, they're stars, but they beat non-stars. But then they get beaten by the bigger stars, and then the bigger stars get beaten by the, you know what I mean? There's like a food chain where, And I agree. What's the point of that match? Because it's a squash and it's not a good match, but it's kind of almost like, well, we're going to have them on TV. Like being on TV is what makes you a star, not actually the match or the result of the match. You know what I mean? So it's like if they're on TV beating someone and then they have their match next week. So I don't know. I feel like they have got a little bit more down that kind of WWE route of featuring similar people every week. Like we've had MJF on the TV every week. You get Strickland on TV every week. You've had Hangman on TV every week. They have actually got a lot better at featuring the stars kind of every week instead of it being like just completely pointless matches on Collision. Like Collision's been a lot better, a lot more star driven. I think past week was a weird one because it was post pay-per-view. It seemed like, I don't know. It was like, let's have a week off. Let's just put something out and then come back next week. I don't know. I think they've done it. I think if they want to do it, they can do it. It's not a case of they can't move people up the card. It's just most of the time they're not. So I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like there's a disconnect somewhere between the mid card and maybe the upper mid card. To me, like maybe that section isn't quite as well merged as it could be, which I think plays into the women's division situation, let's call it, in that you have the handful of people who are up there, again, mostly heels, and now one of them is gone, and you don't have a ready-made person who's been racking up wins who can kind of fit into it. I do kind of feel similarly. Obviously, it's less extreme, but similarly on the male side, you have the handful of really good guys. I would say, for example, Takeshita, to me, feels like he's fallen off quite severely lately, even though he's been, having the matches with Mox or whatever. I just felt like the way that he's been pushed or featured, let's call it, has really, and that this also goes into, frankly, the stretching out of the storyline with Okada. That's seems to have like no forward momentum forever. Not even this has gone on forever. It's just like just nothing happens. There's been no. It's got to a point, and then it's just been on pause for 4 months, treading water. Well, there's no actual progression to the story. I feel like some guys, by virtue of the model, obviously it benefits the top guys. But I think there's some guys in that middle, like I said, upper card to lower or higher card. Does that make sense? Whereas it's just guys who feel like they're kind of floating, and these kind of wins don't do a lot for them. But also, like I said, the storyline, especially, I think Takeshita is the prime example of a guy who's so good, and there's no reason to not have a rocket behind them. And it just seems like the storyline with Okada should have paid off. Still in my mind, should have paid off in the final of the Continental Classic.
Yeah.
I don't know why they changed gears on that, or maybe it was never the plan. But that storyline has never resolved. And we are approaching 3 months after. So what was doing? I do have a quick quiz for you, Joe, because I went on a lovely long walk yesterday it was a rare, lovely day in Ireland yesterday. 17 degrees, sunny. I went on a lovely walk on the canal. And while I was walking, I came up with a very good Wrestler 20 Questions subject. So we're just going to play Wrestler 20 Questions. Nice and simple here. We're not no great thrilling concept to this quiz. Taking it back old school. You've got 20 questions to identify this wrestling personality.
Okay, let's go.
And off you go.
Does this person currently? Is this person currently contracted to AEW?
No.
Okay. Is this person contracted to WWE currently?
No.
Okay. Is this person retired?
I would say for all intents and purposes, yes, but I don't know that it's been formally ratified at any point.
Likely, yes. Has this person ever wrestled for WWE?
No.
Okay. Did this person wrestle in WCW?
No.
Okay. Did this person wrestle in a Japanese promotion?
No.
Okay. Burning through questions.
There's 6 questions.
Never wrestled WWE, never wrestled Japan. Are they American?
Yes.
Finally. Did they wrestle for TNA?
Yes.
Were they ever TNA World Heavyweight Champion, including / NWA World Champion?
No.
At the beginning. Okay. It's TNA but never World Champion. Were they a X Division champion?
No.
TNA.
No.
So who could it be? We've got TNA but never wrestled for TNA but never wrestled for WWE. Never world champion. There can't be that many. Were they a masked wrestler?
No.
Woof. What's that, 10?
11.
11. See, I'm not very good at TNA. This is the problem. Especially if it's not like, well, if it's world champions, things of that nature. Let me okay. TNA. I feel like everyone wrestling TNA was the world champion at some point.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be. Is this person white?
Yes.
It's a white person in TNA. So I think you got the Machine Guns are in WWE. Bobby Roode was in WWE.
Yes.
James Storm was a world champion. AJ Abyss. AJ Abyss, not Elix Skipper.
That's a great little Elix Skipper. The old cage walk, Hurricane Rana back.
That's why I asked white or black.
For Elix Skipper
specifically, because I thought of
him.
I really struggle with TNA wrestlers.
Okay, interesting.
What else can we ask? And they're retired, so it's not like a current. Is it Eric? Yeah, Eric Young was in WWE as well.
Yeah, Eric Young's not retired either. He's still,
Is he still going? Yeah.
Still in TNA actively, yeah.
Still plugging away.
Yes.
Things I don't even know what would narrow it down. That's the problem.
Haven't wrestled for WWE, WCW, or a Japanese promotion, but wrestled for TNA. Ever wrestled, as you put it.
It's no, it's a white. Also, Sanjay Dutt's in AEW, isn't he?
Well, you only asked, are they contracted to AEW?
Yeah.
Sanjay Dutt, I guess, is.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, backstage people as well.
Ooh.
I didn't ask if is this person male.
It is male.
Oh,
it is a male.
Oh God! So it's a white male. Well,
a white male American. That helps.
God, this really narrows it down. It's not Hulk Hogan because I think he wrestled in WWE and WCW in New Japan. Is it? Is this person a second generation wrestler?
No.
Oh, fucking hell. I think I'm going to get this one. This is going to have to be a bolt of inspiration if I get this one.
Look, you could definitely... There's a few questions that could lead you in the right direction here. If I was to highlight, I won't give you any direct hints, but I would say they've not wrestled for WWE, WCW, or Japanese promotion. That obviously closes off a lot, but not everything. And you asked specifically also, have they ever wrestled for TNA? I'm going to emphasize the word ever there. And the answer was yes.
This is okay. Contract to AEW. Have they wrestled for AEW?
Yes.
Fuck a doodle do.
I will say they have ever wrestled for AEW as well.
So I'm assuming it's someone that's been in AEW and TNA for a cup of coffee.
That would be a fair assumption.
So, so who's been in AEW briefly, but not WWE, but AEW and TNA. Thinking back, I mean, not Harvey D, not it's like Juventud Guerrero. No. Oh God. TNA AEW. I'm racking my brains.
Yeah. So that's, someone who's never wrestled for WWE, WCW, any Japanese promotion, but has wrestled for TNA and AEW, which first of all seems like a very small thing. But I've also emphasized the fact that they, without explicitly saying it, maybe not frequent flyers. Let's put it that way. Which might in itself say something about this person.
Ooh. How many have I got left? Just to kind of
5.
Okay.
You've asked 15.
Okay, I can. Are they better known as a celebrity than a wrestler?
Ooh. I will say they are not best known for wrestling.
So
I'll leave it at that.
To some degree. Does that
not best known for wrestling? Are they a celebrity? I would maybe not say that.
Okay, is it not a celebrity? Are they wrestling? They've wrestled in TNA and AEW.
Yeah. Which in itself is interesting that they wrestle in 2 different promotions. Again, I will say, potentially there's a reason that someone might work in 2 promotions but not have a huge catalogue of matches.
Because they were shit or they got injured.
Possibly.
But who would have been really shit in AEW?
Why would AEW have someone who's not great at wrestling? Why would they employ such a person?
To be a jobber?
Not a jobber, no.
It's a... Oh, God.
Maybe wrestling wasn't necessarily their primary occupation.
They're screaming out at home.
I don't think they are, but I think I'm laying on some clues here that are very important.
Wait, no, because no, is it a manager? Who have we got? Oh my God, not No, not Don Callis, because he's
You got
not.
4 questions left.
I try some other managers. Don Callis. Is it? No, because Stokely was in WWE.
He was. Your question, by the way, just to clarify, I'm not contradicting anything you've said. Your question was, have they wrestled for WWE?
Right.
Or are they currently contracted to WWE? Those were your questions. So just to be on the same page.
This is so they're white, so who else?
They are white, a white male.
It's not. I think the Costco guys have been in TNA. They've never been in TNA. Who is someone who've had like a match in AEW and in TNA, but his shit, like a manager? I don't even. It's not Prince. Not no. Yes, had a match.
He ain't white.
Yeah, so famously black, I think.
I don't know if he's famously black, but he is black.
Well, he's Prince. He's a prince. Sorry,
he is of royalty.
Oh my god!
Right, we'll get another question out of you here to keep this moving along.
Okay.
Question 17.
Have they had more than one match in AEW?
No.
More than one.
They've not had more than one match in AEW.
Okay, someone who wrestled one match in AEW.
Yes.
Oh god. How many have I got left? 3.
3.
Was this match in 2019 or 2020? Either 2019 or 2020.
No.
Fuck me. So someone who's had a match so since 2021, fucking hell, does that narrow it down? I was thinking, hoping it'd be someone like early when the shit days.
No.
It's someone who's
after 2020. You were circling something interesting, and then you didn't ask it, which I thought was interesting.
Are they a manager?
Are you asking that question?
Have they been a manager in AEW?
Yes.
I'm not very good with managers. That's the problem.
You love a good manager.
Well, I can only think of Don.
Well, I'll tell you, a white American male. Not currently contracted.
American male. Well, because
how many managers have there been who aren't like past WWE guys?
Arn Anderson
used to wrestle WWE.
Yeah, so it's not him.
The snake.
Well, hang on, don't give me answers there.
Well, that's not an answer because he wrestled in WWE, so it can't be.
Yeah, fair enough.
A former white male AEW. AEW only been around for 6 years. You've watched every episode of
yeah, but I don't remember
AEW.
I don't remember any of it.
All in 2024. What the fuck happened then? I don't know.
What the fuck?
A white male former AEW manager
who also wrestled in TNA at some point.
Who also had some matches in TNA, but only had one match in AEW. The question. I'll tell you, this person has had 6 matches ever. 2 in Impact Wrestling and one in AEW.
This is gonna annoy me. I'm gonna know it, and then I'm gonna get annoyed because I'm gonna. For fuck's sake!
I tell you, the match they had was on pay-per-view as well.
Okay, let me think of all the pay-per-views. Revolution, Dynasty, All In, All Out. Was it? Was it? No, they're white. No, I was thinking of Latino people. It's white.
No, not Latino.
They're definitely like whatever, like white.
Very, very white. Very, very white.
Very pasty white.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I'll tell you, the match was a Full Gear 2021.
I'm never gonna remember. I don't even know.
Full Gear 2021.
I don't remember Full Gear 2025. In all honesty.
You're calling it, are you?
No, hang on. Let me just. It might come to me. Full Gear 2021. It was on the pre-show.
It was on the show proper.
Oh God, Full Gear 2021. So would that have been? So CM Punk would have been in by then.
CM Punk defeated Eddie Kingston on the show.
Yeah.
Adam Page defeated Kenny Omega for the world title. This person was in the pre-main event, the match before the main event. It got a 4-star review in the Wrestling Observer. In the Wrestling Observer, 4 stars.
Because fucking notes as a mug.
That also might kind of give you a clue.
It was a Meltzer.
I tell you what, the match itself was a 10-man tag team street fight. And the other team was the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Ortiz, Sammy Guevara, and Santana defeated this guy and his squad.
Oh, fuck, who is it? Why I'm completely blanking.
Okay.
I'll say, is it Brian Alvarez?
It's not Brian Alvarez, I'm afraid. I'll tell you his partners, and you'll probably
give me one. Give me one at a time.
Okay. Scorpio Sky.
Nope.
Ethan Page.
Nope.
Andrei Arlovsky.
Who?
And Junior Dos Santos.
Oh, is it an MMA guy?
It is an MMA guy.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, I still don't know who it is. Josh Barnett.
No, not Josh Barnett.
No, not Dirty Tom.
No, not Dirty Tom. No, this guy was the manager of Men of the Year, which was Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky at the time. Paige Van Sant came in briefly and was also, remember Paige Van Sant?
Oh, is it the man who used to call everyone fat and gay?
Yeah.
Dan.
I think Dan.
Dan the man. That's his name.
Dan Lambert is what I was looking for.
How the fuck was I going to get Dan Lambert?
Because he was in AEW. He was an AEW manager for like a year.
Yeah, but he...
It was a tricky one. It was a hard one. I think why I did this, because I think this was the only possible hard mode AEW you could possibly do. Anyone else?
Very hard.
Anyone else?
I think it's just because he's had those matches. You think I don't remember him wrestling. Honestly,
he had one match. He was in AEW from July 2021 until mid 2022.
I mean, of course, I remember him as a manager.
Yeah,
he was on a lot.
His little fat face. Yeah.
So honestly, the fact that he had a match.
You've been reminded of him. Do you remember his segments with Brandy Rhodes? Oh yeah, awful stuff.
I'm just looking at it. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Dos Santos, Andrei Arlovsky, and Dan Lambert. Yeah. Good Lord.
Classic stuff.
I will never complain about an AEW show ever again after remembering this. Thanks for bringing this up. Good.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It used to be worse. Let's
I'll say when I played this on my walk in the canal, the other guy got that. Although his line of questioning was, did this person manage a TNT champion?
Right.
And then when Scorpio Sky come up, the guy who was Scorpio Sky's Ethan Page's manager at that time, Dan Lambert. Yeah. Was anyone else in their little team? Lance Archer as well, apparently. It says he managed Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and Lance Archer. And here he is with the little belt on his fat tummy.
Do we have an email? Let's quickly move on, because this is I just
there he is all happy. We do have an email.
Let's get this email. Let's forget that.
I left you a lovely picture, Dan Lambert. You can print off and put.
Why have you sent me this?
So you remember that happened. He was really in AEW.
This is awful.
Okay, I do have an email. Hang on, let me find it here. It's from Nick Knowles. I don't know what Nick Knowles is.
Nicky baby.
Nick at disos.co.uk. Or DIYSOS. I fear this is a joke email, but I don't know what Nick Knowles is, so I don't get the reference.
He hosts DIYSOS. And
this email has been wasted on me. Subject apology. It's TV favorite Nick Knowles here. Apologies for the noise last week by me and my chums Tommy Walsh. Also, not a fucking clue who Tommy Walsh is. And Big Brother 1 winner Craig. I do know him.
Yeah.
When you have a DIY makeover to do, you gotta get on with it. P.S. Why not review my album in your music section? Again, this is to do with our sound quality last week, I imagine. I don't know who most of those people are in that email. I'm going to imagine that this is legitimately Nick Knowles emailing in. So thank you, Nick, for your email.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I think that email would have been better sent to Joe. But I do like a little fake email.
Oh, I love it. That's great. That's tremendous.
That's made up for the Dan Lambert quiz.
Yeah, right. Come on, let's get in. What have you got to say on Dynamite? What happened on Dynamite?
Oh, God. Where do you start with this Dynamite? Let me
bring up the card. Where is the card? No, I can't find it. AEW.
A very, very strange Dynamite. Very weird Dynamite.
Ospreay defeated Blake Christian.
Yeah, so I already feel a certain way about that.
What do you feel?
Like a deep pancreatic sort of throb.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I would have done. It's Booker Paul. He's here to tell the multi-billion company guy how to do his job. I would have had Ospreay not wrestle until Dynasty.
Yeah.
I tell you why. Because not only are you selling Ospreay Mox as the big match, but you're selling the pay-per-view on the basis of it's Ospreay's return.
Yeah.
It's Ospreay's first match since he's been injured by Mox. I think having his first match be against Blake Christian is a monumental waste.
I know.
Just fart out his return match like it's absolutely nothing. Like, I guess, again, I don't want to generalize here, but does Tony Khan not understand that the return match, the first match in 6 months, is an important event to be built to and to be yearned for and wanted for by the fans? Is that not something you can monetize?
This is This is the philosophy, isn't it? It's just these guys wrestle. It's about wrestling. They're not going to hold off on having him wrestle and just do promos. He wants to wrestle. Tony wants people winning matches to get matches. That's just the philosophy. I don't.
Is this difference between Booker of the Year and Promoter of the Year? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would a more promotion-minded Booker say, "I have Ospreay back, but let's
hold off for the big one.
Let's build to it." Because if you put that first match back on Dynasty, I mean, look, the hardcores buy the pay-per-views every month, regardless. But is there a little bit more? I'm going to dip my hand into the wallet and get the My AEW subscription, or in America the HBO Max pay-per-view. If, hey, I love Will Ospreay, his first match back in almost half a year is at Dynasty. I gotta see. And it's against Moxley, who's been having these great matches lately. So that was my initial thing when I was watching. I was saying, this match against Blake Christian does, to my point earlier about the guys wrestling people much lower in the totem pole, does that do anything for Ospreay to come back and beat Blake Christian? Like, I didn't mind the match itself in terms of how much Blake Christian got in it, because you can sell the story of Ospreay being, he's not been in the ring for 6 months. He's
sure, yeah,
rusty coming back. But just do that story in the Mox match on the paper. Do you know what I mean? Because then you have an extra layer to add to that match. I don't know. It might be anti-consumerist for me to say, don't give me the Ospreay match, put it on the pay-per-view. But just watching it, I was like, this seems like an open goal that I just didn't think about. And just get Ospreay on Dynamite. And I guess to an extent, there's also the argument that it's more important to them, especially with the Paramount situation and all that, to get eyes on the TV and the pay-per-views will take care of themselves. Which I get as well. And to be fair, this Dynamite did like a mad rating.
Yeah, but then that's why you have Ospreay on there. You don't have him wrestle. He comes out at the beginning. But I just think it's something how Tony looks at it like it's matchmaking. It's about people wrestling. They beat someone and they get to beat someone. It's just, he books it like it's real. You know what I mean? Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, later on, we have a coffin match later on. So, not exactly.
It's the unrealistic match in the history of wrestling.
But, it's like, wins and losses matter and you have to win.
But that can be good as well. That's a double-edged sword.
But I don't think
in this case, I wouldn't. I would have.
He won't compromise. He won't compromise that. It's just my thought. Yeah. Tag team match: Death Riders beat the Bang Bang Gang. It's all right, wasn't it? I didn't.
Death Riders beat the Bang Bang Bang.
Yeah, it's not my side.
I like this. I would like this again. I would like to believe the Bang Bang Gang had any kind of chance here, which they didn't. And Moxley got the win. And again, given that Moxley has defeated Takeshita now, and that's basically over. We didn't mention as well, after the Ospreay match, Moxley and the Death Riders come out and they attacked Ospreay, and Pac put him in the Brutalizer, which would suggest to me that they're building to a Pac Ospreay match at the Dynasty, not a Moxley one, which again is a whole other thing to discuss. But
yeah, I'm not sure I feel like that.
And then Ospreay didn't come out for revenge at the end here. He was finished for the show. I don't know. A little bit messy. We had Kenny Omega. First we had Gabe Kidd in the parking lot. He said, I don't feel like I started the match in the ring. Come meet me in the parking lot, you little rat. Which was fine. And then we had Kenny Omega backstage making a challenge for Swerve Strickland, put the number one contendership on the line.
Yeah.
Which he won against Brody King, I guess. I feel like Omega's probably going to beat Swerve, especially given Swerve added to the match the stipulation that Omega's EVP status is on the line.
When is the last time that was even mentioned?
I mean, Kenny mentions it sometimes in his promos, but always in the context of, I never use my EVP power. I never abuse it. Again, storyline-wise, I almost feel like Swerve Strickland winning that is the more interesting direction. But I don't think they're Swerve against MJF. No. So that's why I got to assume Kenny's winning here. I think Kenny, MJF, then they can play off that collision match they had. A little bit of history there.
Yeah.
I think that's a good match to main event the pay-per-view that I can look forward to.
Very good match.
So I'd say that's where they're going to go. But I wouldn't mind see a power mad, maybe a slight return of the mogul, Swerve Strickland. I mean, to counter point what I said earlier about Hangman Page and not going backwards through his character development. I feel like you could still have Swerve be the kind of modern day Swerve, but maybe use the mogul nickname or have a different spin on the mogul. So I do quite like that, actually. Then we had, I don't know if I had taken some weird shrooms or something. I don't do drugs, but suddenly Darby Allin was committing like a vehicular type of manslaughter on Gabe Kidd. What did you make of this coffin match?
I didn't pay much attention to it, to be honest. I kind of had it on. It didn't grab me.
You were doing the ironing.
I know. I was just sort of watching it, but not really.
This was like a fever dream. This was too silly. Because Darby They fight in the parking lot. Oh my God, parking lot. What's wrong with me? The car park.
Yeah.
The garage. It can't call it a car hold. They're fighting in the car park, and Darby gets a bottle of ether or something out. I don't know where you'd even get ether from. The science lab or something. He found one somewhere. And he holds it to Gabe Kidd's mouth, and Gabe Kidd starts to go out. And he puts Gabe Kidd in the boot of a car. And then we have a very obvious edit. And then the car is doing loop-de-loops through the air and lands upside down. And Gabe Kidd presumably has been killed by this accident. And then 5 minutes later, Gabe Kidd's beating up Darby Allin again. They've switched. I'm like, this guy should be in the hospital. Never mind having a match. They had a really bad looking coffin. The coffin was just made out of wood. Like, it was obviously one Darby made in his back garden, as he loves to do. They had kind of a match again. This to follow up on the Pape. Way too much biting on the show. Why suddenly does every match have someone biting the other person? Way too.
That's fine. Nah,
no, not every fucking match. Someone's biting somebody. Enough. One match per show, and heels only. I don't want to see baby faces, but unless you're biting silly tit or something. But like, we had biting. They did biting the cock spot again with Jungle Jack Perry and the Young Bucks in the main event, which we'll get to, which you did once and it was a little cute or whatever. Now I'm fucking sick of it. Stop biting each other. And then Darby won with just like a tope into the coffin. It wasn't like a crazy... It's like they started with the murder and finished with like, and then he beat him with a hip toss. You know, like the whole match was backwards. Again, this, to come back to what we talked about with Revolution and how ubiquitous hardcore matches are in AEW. This just felt like they've done this so much. Like, to your point, Joe, a coffin match, I wasn't really paying attention to it. Like, it's meaningless because you do these matches so often. And Toni Storm, Marina Shafir is supposed to be a street fight. The Mina match was ultimately a street fight here. Do we need two street fight? Like, this was for all intents and purposes a street fight. Two on Dynamite? Like, it's wait.
Yeah, it's overkill. I think I stopped watching at this point. Not out of like boredom, but I just kind of didn't finish it, and then I just never went back to the rest of the show. In all honesty,
well,
I was just feeling this was a week of like,
this was an off week.
They're taking a week off.
Next week looks much better as well.
Yeah, I'll be back on it next week. But
I'll tell you, Swerve Strickland did answer Kenny's challenge, and as I mentioned, wanted Omega to offer up the EVP status, which was confirmed by TK. Speedball Bailey beat Mark Davis in a very good match.
Mm-hmm.
We had Marina Shafir against Mina Shirakawa. No holds barred. So Mina, who's kind of not the tippy top in that division, I'd say she's in the somewhere.
Yeah.
And Marina, who's been on a hot streak lately. And Toni got taken out by some mystery assailant.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking here, Marina's got to beat Mina. Nope. Mina beat her clean. It's a street fight. It's not really clean.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This was a strange result. And look, I don't mind the surprise result because I like, in a sense, reaffirming that at the end of the day, anyone can beat anyone. But this one had me scratching my head where it's like, you have someone who's getting over.
Yeah.
And you have someone who's over, but to a limit. And you had like the other one.
But I think we
talked
about earlier, the babyface side needs more. So maybe, you wouldn't typically want to put Mina over here, but if you're building her up to Tekla at the pay-per-view, then she's going to have to get some wins.
She has to win here. Yeah.
She does lose a lot, Mina. She's good. She does lose a lot. Maybe a win here just builds her up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that the circumstances here were unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Let's set up. We had the best wrestler in the world backstage, Andrade El Idolo. And John Cruz came up with a briefcase full of money. and said he had Don Callis on the phone on video chat. Don Callis said, "Andrade, mi hermano, I need you to accept this money from our friend MJF." And when John Cruz came up first, Andrade said, "What is this? The AEW title?" Because it's MJF. So Darby, after his win against Gabe Kidd, said, "MJF, I'm coming for you." And here Andrade is being paid off by MJF to take out Darby Allin. And then the main event was your 6-man special that they do lately with Jack Perry and the Young Bucks versus Okada and RPG Vice. As I said, they did the triple cock bite out of the tombstones, which, oh baby, am I tired of this? Speaking of, then Cope and Cage came out and said, "Really, to hurt FTR, you don't hurt them, you take their belts." And then FTR came out and for some reason ran to the ring while the Young Bucks and Cope and Cage were in there, and of course they beat them up easily. And then this was not a hot angle to close the show. Very weird Dynamite, very strange.
Let's forget that happened.
Strange that it coincides with Cope's return and Tony Storm's disappearance, but hey, what can you do?
Could that be related?
So Dynamite this coming week, we do have Swerve Strickland against Kenny Omega. So let's get to the bangers.
Darby, building up Darby because he mentioned the world title, wanted to go after the world title, and he's getting a singles match with Rouge. So I don't wonder, is he going to be the Double or Nothing challenger? Or is he the Dynasty challenger and then Kenny goes at Double or Nothing?
Maybe. I mean, we will surely see Andrade involved somewhere in there. MJF will be on the show, Tekla against Mina on the show. So this is looking like a much better Dynamite than what we got this week. But
we'll see.
An off week.
Movies and TV.
I'm very excited for this movie section. I will say on TV, I don't have a huge amount to say. But for movies, I'm very excited because Joe watched a movie that I guess was, in a sense, recommended by me. I know Barry as well, but I've been on that. You've been bandwagon a lot longer than Barry is. And I watched a movie which was recommended by Michelle. So we are trading movies here this week. Will you start?
I'll start because I watched Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Yeah, and you've got into this with no previous Nirvana, the band experience. You haven't watched the movie or the TV show.
I think I saw a couple of episodes when you recommended it. I mean, 7 or 8 years ago, probably. I did watch a couple. I enjoyed it. I just never really got kind of into it to watching the whole thing, but I was kind of interested in it. But they, I know them. Obviously, the Matt Johnson is kind of well known from many
from Blackberry, being Ian Blackberry and director.
He's Blackberry. He's done a few things, so I kind of know him. The other guy, has he done anything outside of this?
He did the music for Blackberry.
Okay, he's a music guy. He's a music guy.
He composed the score also for another great movie, The Kid Detective.
Oh yes,
he also did the music for that. So he's primarily a composer.
He's a composer. Okay, so I kind of read a rough idea of what it was about. So I watched the film. I'd heard very good things. Obviously, not just from you two, but from others. That's really exciting. So I checked it out, and it's very, very funny, very enjoyable, very easy to get into. Like premise, you know what I mean? Yes. If you haven't seen the TV show, it's like you get the dynamic straight away. You've got these kind of two guys in a band. One is
whatever that means.
One is a lunatic, and one is the straight man, as it were. The musician and the kind of straight man. So it's kind of like straight away you get it. The mad stuff they get up to. It's very interesting. It gives me kind of Nathan Fielder vibes.
Yes,
throughout, because it's one of those where you don't know what's real and what's kind of scripted. You don't know who's a member of the public and who's an actor. I couldn't really honestly say either way. I don't know whether a lot of the stuff they did was just completely filmed, but in a mockumentary kind of, this is supposed to be real kind of way. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I honestly couldn't tell you.
That's part of the fun is wondering, I suppose. Yeah,
because there's partly in kind of stunts. There's some very outrageous stunts in the movie. There's some outrageous kind of like them running through, as in Toronto. Toronto, yeah. Them running through Toronto and interacting with people. Also, some very interesting time travel aspects to it, which I assume they've been planning this for a while. That was my nothing.
No, I can give you a bit of background to it now that you've seen it. We can talk a little bit more openly about it, but no, they have.
Okay, that's interesting.
Which is all the matter.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, but it's very funny. It's kind of it's very back to. I mean, they acknowledge this, and
it's a Back to the Future parody.
It's Back to the Future kind of like parody, basically. But done, with sort of love and very in a very fun way. And I think they the story is kind of plays out quite nicely. But sort of, there's a nice story in there among the kind of madness
about friendship,
the surrealness of it. So yeah, it was very nice and very funny.
Yeah,
and kind of jaw dropping. And yeah, you do have to compare it to like a Nathan Fielder, where it's like no one else is doing this kind of.
No, it's very.
No one else could do this. No one else could, do this kind of thing. So I really
for a budget of barely $2 million as well. You wouldn't think so. It's a great look.
No.
Very efficient. So, to give you an idea, obviously, I think there's an element to Nirvana, the band, of sort of wrestling or magic, where it's like, how much do you want to know, or is the magic in not knowing? But like, for example, they've spoken about this opening in Q&As, is that the opening CN Tower bit, that everything up until them jumping off the tower is 100% legitimate.
Right.
But what they do is they go out and they record the bits over and over and over again until they get it. So they meet the Brazilian girl outside.
Yeah.
And obviously they did the second scene with her first and the first scene with her second. So when they meet her the second time and say, oh wait, we've never met. That's right. Obviously, that was the first time.
Yeah.
But if it hadn't worked with her, they would have just taped it then with a different person and with a different person. I believe they tried like 50 people. They spent 200 days filming this movie.
It's that kind of street magic thing of going out and filming, and then you only show the one.
Works.
You only show the one where the trick actually works.
And apparently they got the clippers through security in the way that's shown in the movie. And up on the top of the tower, that GoPro footage from the guide's helmet is legitimate, and he didn't know anything about it, and they just got the footage through a contact. And so everything up until the point of them, obviously the jumping off and all of that is, of course, effects or whatever. But everything up at that point, totally real, totally legitimate. There's the bit later in the movie where Matt is running along the top of the tram and jumps onto the side and off. They taped that, I believe, during a Taylor Swift concert, so that the police were occupied with other stuff.
Yes.
And one last story is Jay, the musician, did get arrested during the making of the movie. So they had done, in case they couldn't get the CN Tower footage the way they wanted, they taped a whole alternate scene where they broke into the Sky Dome, and he was dressed as the mascot, whenever the mascot of Jay's is called. And they got caught during that or whatever. They kind of got arrested. But that's kind of the thing, right? It's pretty much everything you see with the public is
it's a shoot. It's a shoot.
It's real.
Or does that work?
Or are they working? I mean, that's again,
that's the work into a shoot.
But it's so great when you get the reactions of the people. And that's the thing they say as well, is that Canadians compared to Americans will just kind of think these guys are strange, but not.
Yeah. Oh, they're weird, eh?
Not react like.
Yeah.
But yeah, very fun movie. This is Back to the Future illusions are fun.
Yeah,
and the the bit where they play the music for 1.6 seconds as a gag. I believe originally they're going to have much more of the music in the movie, but they couldn't. Obviously, as we saw in the movie, there's a lot of copyrighted material used, as is their shtick. One of my favorite bits is the hangover joke.
Oh yeah,
which is how they realize that they've gone back.
Yeah.
Very funny, of course.
Is the copyright why it hasn't been released in the EU? Or is
I don't know, but I have theorized that maybe the laws are slightly different over here. And they did show it at a festival in Glasgow once.
Oh, okay.
But that's it. I don't know.
They said they were deliberately avoiding UK and EU. That was the message I saw.
I don't know, but
I assumed
obviously it has literal footage of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Footage of The Hangover, ads from the various stuff. They in the future with Jay, they have him obviously at the Oscars and singing with James Corden. And
that was good. Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
It's very funny.
It's funny that 2008 is long. It's almost like Marty going back to 1955. You know, it's like
exactly
ago now. There's like completely different now.
But
it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think between that and Blackberry, you've seen the two strongest Matt Johnson efforts so far. I mean, the guy is making unique, like I said, that's the word I used earlier, but like he's got a very clear style that he does, and he does very well. You know, you don't get that from a lot of people, and very funny movies. Like I said, his next movie is another biopic, so and doesn't have the core gang involved. It's an A24 movie, so I don't know how much that's going to feel.
Yeah.
Like a Matt Johnson joint.
This is the Toni
biopic, which I think will be very good. I don't know how much. It's not the same cinematographer. It's not the same, Zapruder Films, the group that they've done everything he's done to date, all 4 movies and the TV show. Now might be the time for you then to revisit the TV show. Give that another go. So I do feel like, obviously the movie is kind of a madder version of that. But it's the same core concept in bite size. I think to Nathan Fielder or Borat or whatever, I think there's also a Pinky in the Brain vibe to it, where every episode is what's our plan to take over the world this time? Albeit again in a comedic way, their plan is to play this not even very important local venue that if they just called to book a gig, they could probably have one. And I think that's part of the funniness of it is, number one, they're not really a band. They've never recorded a song, or it seems one of them vamps on the piano and the other one just does improvisation. There's not really a band. So it's got a funny concept alone. Yeah, I really, really love it. But if you want a link for the TV series, I can certainly send it to you.
I think I found that because I downloaded that thinking it was the film, and then I found that I had to go and find the film. So yeah, I think I've got that.
Lovely. But yeah, very, very fun.
Yeah, good stuff. What have you?
Oh, sorry. One more thing to the what you're saying about the old footage.
Yeah.
So apparently their editors reviewed however many hundreds of hours of footage they had recorded in 2008 when they were making their web series, and found footage that would work.
Right.
And apparently the editors wrote those whole segments based on the footage they found in 2008.
Okay.
And they kind of brute forced it in. So no, there was no forward thinking. They just happened to have
wrote around what they'd had,
some footage that they could use.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there's the gag, which is one of my favorite bits in the movie, actually, where they say, "Does that guy look like me?" No, that guy looks like me. And they look, and they've like swapped jackets or whatever.
Right.
But originally that was apparently just like a poster with a guy wearing a fedora. And so they took that, footage and, we can actually use that in terms of making a time traveling joke. Very good. I have watched also Matt Johnson because I got my Dirties Blu-ray, obviously. So I did watch it last night. Interesting. I still think it's great, but it's an interesting watch after watching Nirvana the band, which is like along with Blackberry, as I said, in my opinion, his best two, his most polished two movies as well. The Dirties is very raw, very, very raw. When you consider like it's 2026, he's just put out Nirvana the band. Blackberry's 2023. The Dirties is 2013. So you're talking a whole decade before. So you're still kind of very much coming up and putting it together. So it's very, very raw. There's still some really funny stuff in it. I think if someone went directly from Blackberry or directly from Nirvana, the band, the movie, to the Dirties, it might be a bit of a culture shock. Where it's like, oh my God, this is too. It's like going back to XFM Series 0. If you've only listened to the main series once through, it's more. Gotcha. You get acclimatized, you get really into it, and then you go and dip your toe into the more out there back catalog. The Blu-ray, so I ordered from Australia. It's an Australian company who's putting this Blu-ray out. So you have to get it imported. The amount of special features on that thing are insane. I think I put on my did I put on my Blue Sky or I forget where I shared it exactly. Did you see this picture I shared?
Where?
I don't remember if I put on Blue Sky or where I put it, but there's I took a screenshot of the amount of the special features screen.
Oh, right.
It is insanity. Here, I'll send it to you now if you don't have it. But this is the special features screen. It has so many special features on this.
Good Lord.
I have to squint at the television and see what I'm selecting.
That's your commentaries.
It's good value. You get your value for money.
My ready trailer. Tremendous.
You have a lot of Matt Johnson interviews and stuff from 2025, like modern stuff. But it's so it's a great deal. Movie itself, I think, is still very good. It's him and Owen Williams, who's the guy from Operation Avalanche, and it's about these two guys who are bullied and making a movie about their school experience. And in the movie, they're gonna kill the bad guys, and then the Matt Johnson character starts to kind of lose himself in the reality of the film versus actual reality and starts to go a bit crazy. And ultimately the movie is known as a kind of school shooting movie. So you can kind of imagine where it leads, but it's about the character who loses himself too much in the character while making a movie. It's very interesting in that way. But as I said, super, super raw, super rough. So I would say that, and to an extent, Operation Avalanche. I think Operation Avalanche is slightly more accessible. I would say more so for diehards. But like I say, if you've seen Blackberry and Nirvana the band movie,
yeah, I might check it out.
You've seen the two. You've listened to Abbey Road and you've listened to the White Album. If you want to dive into some of the more eclectic cuts there, but
yeah.
I'm waiting for the Nirvana the band Blu-ray now and the special features, and by God, they better have a good making of explain some of this shit. How did they have that cable connected to the top of the tower and just walking around the town with a wheelbarrow with this cable? That's one of my favorite shots in the movie, actually. Yeah. You first see them with the wheelbarrow and the camera pans back and the cable just going into the sky. Is so good. I also watched the movie recommended by lovely Michelle.
Pavements. I haven't seen this. I don't know what
I liked quite a bit. It is a music documentary / mockumentary / biopic / spoof / real documentary. So it's doing all these things at once. It's a very kind of frenetic movie. But I thought it was, so first of all, I'd never heard of the band Pavement, so I wasn't familiar with them at all. They are a kind of 90s, not quite grungy, but kind of maybe like, what are they like? Is it the Meat Puppets? They're kind of meat Puppets sounding. Meat Puppets are a group who did some of the songs that Nirvana covered on their Unplugged album. Sounds a little bit like Meat Puppets, that kind of raw, grungy, but not quite grunge, American rock band. And so the movie is a biopic about them sort of coming back, reuniting, while at the same time there's a fictional movie in a movie being made about them, starring is it Joe Keery from Stranger Things? He's excellent in it, by the way. He's very, very funny in it. And so you're watching this, and it's a documentary about the band, but at the same time, there's also elements of fiction intentionally being put into the documentary, and there's a film within a film where the director is making the documentary, is also making this biopic film, and there's a musical. They're showing some documentary about the musical about it, so there's a lot happening. It is very fun without ever feeling like a full-on like piss take. Like it doesn't play it entirely straight, but it doesn't like ever cross over into being too silly either. I would say it's a hair long for the kind of movie it is.
Right.
I think it sustains throughout, but there is an element when you're an hour in and you kind of get what it's doing, and then it goes for another hour 10. I do feel like this kind of movie would benefit from maybe being a hair shorter, but I did think it was a fun watch. I thought the Joe Keery especially, there's some really funny lines. There's one bit because he's playing in the fake movie. Who else is there? Jason Schwartzman appears as well, but he's playing the lead singer of the band, and he's like almost method acting. He's like, I got to sound and look exactly like this guy, and he's like, you got to get me pictures of this guy's tongue so I can study it and learn to sound and talk like he does. And then he gets into talking like him so much that once they record the film, he can't get out of using his voice. He's like stuck with this permanent impression. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I think Pavements are one of those bands where the singer is kind of eccentric, and so they're kind of interesting that way anyway. So good recommendation. Thank you, Michelle. Alex Ross Perry, who directed it, also directed that Ghost concert film I saw in cinema a few years ago. So I was kind of interested in him anyway. So it's good to see another of his. So yeah, enjoyed that. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Anything on the TV? We'll quickly
just Scrubs. Another episode of Scrubs, which I'm still enjoying. I do feel like, what are we, 5 or 6 episodes in now? I mean, I hate to be someone stuck on the past, but I wish there was more involvement from the old cast. You know what I mean? They did do even by season 8, the original run of Scrubs went for 9 seasons. Even season 8, I think through budgetary reasons, they started to kind of phase people out. Right. You have an episode which only has 2 of the main cast in it, or like people would be noticeably missing. Donald Faison and Judy Reyes aren't in this episode at all. And so you're getting like half episodes. And this season, I mean, I don't mind the new cast. I think they're fine, but there's something about it. I haven't watched the Fraser or the Malcolm. I don't know if the Malcolm in the Middle one's even out yet, but the Fraser one or any of these various reunion shows where they bring the. Is it the norm that these reunion shows is like, well, it's 3 of the old cast and the rest is new people?
A little bit. I think just the logistics of getting them back. You know what I mean? You can get a few back full time, but some people don't want to do it or they can't do it because they're on another show.
Yeah.
You end up with kind of a half and half, and it's like...
I feel like if you can't get everybody back with, maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, but if you can't get everybody back, like don't even do it.
Don't do it, yeah.
You could argue they have the 3 most important characters in Braff, Sarah Chalk, and Donald Faison, who are like the 3, right? But really the heart of that show was John McGinley's mentor and the janitor bringing this surreal kind of... Yeah. And so given that those 2 characters, only one of them has been in 1 episode. The other guy hasn't appeared at all. And we're, so it does feel like the show is...
Especially the ensembles. Like I remember the Gilmore Girls reunion, similar thing where they had the old characters pop up for like 1 scene. Because they're on another show. They can't film a whole show, so they can do a cameo. It's like, oh, nice to see them. But it's like watching a Super Bowl ad of like a show reunion rather than the actual original show. And you think, what's the point? Just fucking either take one of the main characters and put them in a new situation, like a spin-off, like Frasier, spin-off from Cheers.
Yes,
or have the whole show, but in between, it just feels like, look, it's Dr. Cox. Oh,
it's like television.
Well, I don't know if it's that bad.
Well, I mean, I've been positive about the show. Myself and Barry have been both saying each week, it's very watchable, and it is. But the more I watch it, the more that ache for the comfort of the old characters. Just like, I mean, even like characters who were previously not main cast, like the Todd, Hooch, who if they have brought back. Trust me, these guys are not fucking. The phone's not ringing off the hook.
Yeah.
You could elevate some of these guys to main cast and maybe change their characters a little bit. The Todd doesn't need to be. You could have the Todd come back and he's totally different, but it's the actor you remember. So his character, he's been through treatments and stuff. He's not a crazy sex criminal anymore. He's something else.
Yeah.
That could be a funny spin, but like instead it's just the kids and Donald Faison. And you know what the worst thing as well is that they constantly talk about characters who aren't there.
Oh yeah,
Judy Reyes' character especially. Carla said this. I've got to do this thing tonight for Carla, and she's still working in the hospital. You never see her. She's been in one episode or two, I want to say.
Lame.
Watching anything yourself?
Not too much. We're working our way through Mad Men at the moment. But,
Mad Men's a banger. Mad Men's a banger.
It's a very good show. Kind of
it's a banger
at the midpoint, but yeah. Oh, it's really fun. It's a funny show. It's funny, dramatic. It's got everything. Just that golden age. We didn't know it was a golden age.
You know how good we had it.
Now, you're lucky if you get one good show. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to the reunion season with John Hamm and Pete Campbell appears in one episode.
Oh,
look forward to that one.
Is that Roger Sterling in one episode?
No, he's now a different actor. He got recast.
I think that's going to do it.
That'll do it.
The
show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, feel free to send us an email. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do you like and subscribe? More follow.
Smash
and rate.
Subscribe.
Get on Spotify, rate 5 stars, and follow the podcast, and then you'll get every single episode at the top of your app every week.
Well, not every episode. We can't allow that, but most episodes.
Free. Just give us a little 5 stars.
We don't want the listeners to have a hangover experience.
No. Send us an email, even if it's a fake one. We love all.
No. Use your real name, you fucking cowards. I don't want any of this. And if you're going to impersonate a celebrity,
make that I know who
it is. Irish celebrities, how about that? Oh, it's me, Gaybird. I'm back.
So we'll be back next week. Barry probably in tow. Nothing special happening in the next week, so probably a regular episode, no shows to review or anything. We'll take you through AEW and whatever else is going on. So that'll be that. So thank you for listening. For me, it's goodbye, have a good week, and for Mr. Paul,
goodbye from me as well.